Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Mama Genius Festival. I'm here with Liam and I'm bringing on Jackie, and we are about to introduce some wonderful youth speakers, and we're going to headbutt each other. Jackie was just in the interim calling us the two-headed geniuses.
That's right.
Literally, right? All right. So we have some wonderful more guest youth speakers for you tonight. We just had two that were just on. Man, I was catching it on the replay as I was driving because I got the honor to go see Liam. Liam stepped up and wanted to be EMC so I could go watch Lily's live performance tonight. And so I'm so honored and just feel my heart filled that he was able to do that for me and really calling him to his purpose. And so he was able to run things. And I think that's our genius coming out in us, is showing those things. And so thank you, Liam. I just want to publicly thank you for that. And so we have two great speakers on, and everyone knows Jackie now, but I have to introduce her again because she's just such a wonderful youth coach, and we've been getting out there and getting to know her so much. She's been working with Liam and getting all these youth speakers to sign up for TEDx talks as well. I am just so impressed, and like all these applications going in, and we might get some youth speakers going in. So Jackie, the international conversational coach, TEDx speaker herself, and co-host of Life Mastery Radio, from overcoming childhood silence to empowering others. Jackie's journey has inspired many. Learn about the Speak Free Lead project and Jackie's commitment to helping kids and teens find their confident voices on global platforms, and that she is doing. And so, welcome, Jackie.
Thank you, Michelle. It is an honor to be with you and Liam and all the other moms out there on this Mama Genius Festival. And I'm so appreciative of you for giving kids this stage and giving them an opportunity to share their voices here. So thank you for that.
We need to get them out. Well, you are welcome. So, Jackie's going to introduce our first speaker of the night for us.
Yep, I will do that. Let's bring up Srinika. Srinika is one of those TEDx speakers that Michelle was mentioning just a month ago, a little over a month ago. Srinika was on the TEDx stage her first time, and she could not have done better. She was amazing. And so, Srinika, the title of her message tonight is Kids Can Manage Their Type 1 Diabetes Using the MOM Method. Pretty perfect for this occasion. So, despite having type 1 diabetes, it doesn't keep Srinika from reading fantasy and fiction books, kuchipudi dancing, and playing badminton, or harmonizing her voice and violin. She has been on several summits in the last month and excited again to share her message with you. So everyone, please welcome Srinika.
So excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I started singing at the age of 3. I would listen to my mom sing and repeat the words and sounds of her voice. My parents entered me in a singing competition at the age of 4. I sang a song called Ratnai Kalpitamasanam. It was about Lord Shiva. I was prepared and practiced, which gave me confidence and courage. Yet at the same time, my heart pounded nervously as I looked into the faces of an audience of 100 people. I began to sing in a Carnatic voice. Ratnai Kalpitamasanam. I gave it my best. I won first prize! I felt powerful. Then the time came when my power was threatened. I was just a typical 5-year-old in preschool. Singing and dancing were my passions. My baby brother had just been born, and I cooed at him at every chance I got. One day during dance practice, my head started to spin. I felt sweaty, shaky, and no amount of water could quench my thirst. My teacher noticed me looking a bit unusual, so she called my parents. Mom and Dad took me to urgent care. All the tests began, and soon I was in the emergency room. That led to more tests, and there were a lot of tubes going in and around me. My parents were told to pack 2 days of supplies and clothes, since I would likely stay for a bit. I was very confused about what was going on. The nurses were pricking my fingers every couple of hours. Then the shot started. If I wanted to eat something, the nurses would do some calculations and give me another shot. I hated this. When I was sent home a few days later, my parents had to keep pricking my fingers and giving me shots. No way was I agreeing to this. My parents resorted to bribery. Whenever they needed to prick my finger or give me a shot, I was given a Dora the Explorer toy. I ended up with dozens of them until my parents finally explained why I had to be poked and prodded. Srinika, you have type 1 diabetes. It was life-threatening if I didn't get medication throughout the day and night. My life was going to be different than it had been. I was going to be different than I had been. I was different from the other kids at school. I eventually agreed with the need to be pricked and poked. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't just eat whenever I wanted to. I had to test my sugar levels first, then get a shot before I could eat anything. Type 1 diabetes affected my social life. I could go to birthday parties, but I often couldn't have cake, just veggies. And sometimes I had to step out of the fun and into the bathroom to get a shot. My friends saw I was different because one of my parents was always with me to manage my food and activities. Kids like me have to wear a monitor on their arm all the time, even at school. The monitor sounds an alarm when the kid's blood sugar is out of normal range. It's challenging to maintain our blood sugars in the target range even 50% of the time. Kids like me have to embarrassingly walk out of class and into the nurse's office to be tested and injected. Some other ways T1D kids are different are low blood sugar can cause us to faint. It's happened to me twice. Sometimes when our blood sugars are low, we have to eat, even when we don't want to, like the middle of the night. Sometimes we don't get to eat for hours. We hate getting shots, and sometimes they don't even work. Then what? We might try 10 different solutions. At first, we feel ashamed to share our illness with friends. We worry about what they will think of us. There are even people who make fun of our differences. Oh, here's something to know. Emotional excitement or distress can significantly tip our blood sugars, so teasing a T1D kid can be dangerous. We have to avoid bullies. One boy ridiculed me, saying that I was too stupid to be an endocrinologist because of my diabetes. Those are the doctors who treat diabetes. I stood my ground with that kid, told him to mind his own business, and that I was perfectly capable of paving my own path. At least once a day, someone accidentally hits the monitor on my arm and causes pain. Besides wearing a monitor and needing to be on top of our food intake, sometimes we T1D kids have to eat lunch before or after the rest of the class at school. Some days we can't play on the playground with the others, while some days we can. T1D becomes difficult to hide. I eventually accepted a mom role, my own manager. Like the ways a mother protects her children, I learned to protect myself. And as my disease evolves, my management knowledge evolves as well. My school nurse taught me how to prick my fingers and capture the blood for testing. She also taught me how to give myself shots after calculating the amount of insulin needed each time. And my school counselor came into my classroom to teach my fellow students about ways my body didn't work to make insulin like theirs did. When I became my own manager, I accepted my differences, shared them with others, and generally took charge of my own self-care. All kids with type 1 diabetes can accept the role of a mom as well. Now that type 1 diabetes is a life companion, I've learned to face it and embrace it. You can too. I've learned to speak up clearly about my needs, come out of my shell, and not be afraid to own my space. My parents don't need to accompany me to parties and other activities any longer. I put together my mom pouch. This My Own Manager pouch includes test strips, needles, insulin, snacks, and if I hadn't outgrown her, there would be a Dora the Explorer toy in there too. It goes with me everywhere. You can do the same. By accepting the mom role and managing type 1 diabetes, kids are able to share their differences and build a supportive community. Today, start putting together your own self-care pouch, including testing supplies, needles, insulin, snacks, and a toy or something of comfort to you. Start today to share your differences and take on the mom persona. When you own your space, your community will gather around you. Since my diagnosis, I've given myself around 12,000 shots and still poke my fingers 5 to 6 times a day. This makes me different than most kids in my school. Nevertheless, my friends, nurses, admins, teachers, school counselors, and doctors have rallied around me to form a community that cares. According to the International Diabetes Federation, around 1.1 million children like me live with type 1 diabetes all over the world. If you're 1 in a million like I am, take on the mom, my own manager method, and share your differences and gifts. Build your community. And most importantly, take your power back. Thank you.
That was absolutely amazing. I'm like, I just love how you create the mom technique to suit what you needed, but we can apply that to any challenge that we face and just taking control and taking the power back. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Michelle. My own manager, everybody can apply that, right? It's our plan for self-care. And we all need to care for ourselves. It's different for everybody in the way we do that. But Srinika, you have been such a powerful example of how sometimes we underestimate the capability of our kids. And you have just shown us that there's so much we can teach them to do to manage their own care and to make sure that they're getting what they need and giving them some responsibilities that, in your case, pretty big responsibilities. And yet you've done it. And you're such a powerful speaker. You're a powerful young girl. And you're living with this disease that is going to be ever changing. But because you've already learned to face it and embrace it, as you say, you're going to just inspire so many people. And I actually was talking to you yesterday. You mentioned that you might possibly become a spokesperson for the juvenile diabetes. What is it? What's the rest of it?
Research Foundation.
Research Foundation, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And that's going to be so awesome if you get to do that, because you're going to change the lives for so many kids your age and older who have to face and live with this disease. So thank you, Srinika. It was very moving.
Thank you.
I wonder if there's any moms out there listening who have kids with type 1 diabetes. You might want to just mention that in the chat. if this is something that you face or somebody that you know has a child with type 1 diabetes, and let them hear Srinika's message. That'd be great.
Yes, exactly. I think that just, it was so powerful. And but I feel like your message is just transcends to any challenge we face. And just, I love the way you describe feeling different, because it's so true. Like, no matter, at all times we feel something different, but to hear your story and to really feel that with you, I just thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing that with us tonight.
Thank you so much
Excellent.
for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Oh, I'm just so glad that we were able to provide this for you and to hear your voice out there. And on that note, we will take a small commercial break, because Jackie is going to tell us a little bit about Tanzania when we come back from this one.
All right.
Have you ever been afraid to raise your hand in class or apply for the school play? I know I have, but not since I've joined the Speak Feed Lead project. The Speak Feed Lead project is now going to Tanzania to help the youth there get their voice heard. We need your help to give a donation. Any donation counts. If it's $5 or $100, any donation will help us be able to inspire the youth and change their lives and give them the power they need to speak from their hearts and give them their voice.
As we ask for a donation for this project, we also want to pass that voice and message along to you, as well as bringing more connection to your family. And so we want to provide a guide for you to bring meaningful connections between you and your kids, what we call a morning circle. And it inspires you to go through and really conversate with your kids in a 5 to 10 minute fashion that really starts to bring deep conversations. We provide the directions for how to do it, along with the cards you can print yourself, and create the deep questions such as, what does it mean to be yourself? And you'll be surprised as you go around doing this process, how it starts to just naturally start to open up more and more conversations, even throughout the day. So we want to bring the voice to everyone. All we request is for a donation to our Tanzania project, and we will send you the details to how to make your own circles and get your own cards as well. So please click the link below and make the donation that you feel comfortable with, and we will send these materials to you. And we're back. So Jackie, if you want to tell us a little bit more about Tanzania.
Yeah, we first started out with the opportunity to serve 8 schools, and then that increased to 12 schools, and now it's up to 15 schools. That when we go to Tanzania, specifically Moshi, Tanzania, at the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro, we're going to be able to go into the regular school day of 15 school kids, primary and secondary, and we're going to be able to teach them powerful skills, not only in public speaking, but vocational skills. We might help them to form some sports clubs, environmental clubs. We're also bringing with us some hygiene kits, because the girls there, because of their monthly periods, sometimes they can't go to school because they don't have the supplies that we have here that would enable them to do that, and there's a stigma there associated with it. So our supplies are going to allow them to stay in school so that they can get the education that they deserve as young women, and then we're going to give perhaps some opportunity to even create some jobs there for the women in the community by having some sewing machines, so that the company that provides those hygiene kits for them over there can make them instead of buying them. So it's really exciting. It's such a great endeavor that we're taking on, and I know that we're going to be able to impact the lives of kids, their moms and dads, the community at large, as well as the school systems there. So, it's only a win-win-win all the way around. And so we'd love for you to help in getting us there and being able to take some supplies over there to really make an impact. Thank you for that.
When Jackie brought the project on, we were just like, that's something I was like, well, I just want to take this international. I mean, we're all about bringing the voice of kids out and the messaging. And then when I brought to Liam's like, yes, I want in, I want to go. And so we want to help support this as well. And we want to get there and really just bring the voices out of the kids and really bring Mama Genius International, bring Speak Lead Freed International, and really support and show what a global community we can be and how we can share and spread this all together. But again, we want to provide this opportunity for everyone to connect and really bring out the voices and the connection that is so sometimes lacking and needing, but just to do it in a different way. And so we really spent some time putting this all together for you as well, for those of you that are donating out there.
Don't forget to donate and get a free copy of this after you donate.
And thank you
But
guys
on
so
that
much for
note,
doing that.
we have another speaker we're bringing up right now.
Yep. We get to hear next from Anvitha. Anvitha Tumbolam Guti is our next youth speaker. The title of her message is A Middle Schooler's Perspective About the Dawning of the AI Era. And so Anvitha is a 7th grader. She is in a middle school here in the state of Washington, where I am as well. And she's a competitive Bollywood dancer. Yay! And she's been on more than 30 stages dancing since she was about 4 years old. And she has been working on her presentations, including TEDx, and she's spoken on several summits recently. She's getting her voice out there in the world, and she wants to tell you what our future looks like with AI and even what we're dealing with right now. So Anvitha, welcome to the stage. It's great to have you here.
Welcome to the Mom and
So
Dad
much.
Show. So excited to have you, and we're going to just leave and give you the stage. Welcome.
So, AI in middle schools. You might think that's not like a normal thing, right? But guess what? It's always there. AI in schools is like having a super cool 24/7 assistant for everything, from brainstorming unique ideas for assignments to whipping up some fantastic art pieces. I think of it as my personal creative partner, helping me create content, and it's like having a chat with a friend who's always there to bounce ideas off of, especially when when I'm stuck or in need of a bit of inspiration that I can't get from my teacher right away. But here's the twist. As awesome as all of this sounds, it's not all just rainbows and unicorns. Cause like any superpower, it comes with its own set of responsibilities. Some students might get tempted to let AI do all the heavy lifting. Like writing essays, overusing this amazing tool can mean not actually learning anything. What's the point of going to school if you're not going to learn anything? It's a really big bummer. Plus, this could land your genius in hot water, risking grades or even facing serious consequences. You could even get expelled for plagiarism. So, now I've told you about what could happen, I have a story. So, I have a story about how using AI can totally backfire on you. It happened in school, right in the middle of the year. Me and my buddy were reading each other's essays, making sure they were good to submit. I started reading hers, but something felt super off. The essay sounded like it was written by some Harvard graduate. I asked her if she wrote this herself, but she just brushed me off and didn't want to talk about it. So I didn't ask her anymore. I didn't want to force it out of her. Then, a couple of days later, after we handed in our essays, our teacher pulled her aside and started talking to her. She told me that he was talking to her about how it wasn't okay to just copy stuff off. This really shook her up, especially because it all went down just 2 days before the semester was about to end. That's when our grades froze, and she only had 2 days to finish the outline and get a new idea and finish writing her essay. In the end, she got a B, when she could have just worked hard from the beginning and get an A. Because I know that she's a pretty good writer, and that if she just didn't, cheat, it would work. It would have worked out. This story helps me realize how careful you have to be with AI and the consequences of it, because you don't know what's going to happen. So like anyone's thought process, I'm not going to blame if anyone has done this before. Okay, well, I've been working hard so much, I could just use AI for just one essay. No one's going to realize. Well, guess what? They are, because they have teachers have plagiarism checkers, and they can know if your whatever you wrote is plagiarized. And I hope that the next time you guys think of using AI to do all the work for you, you stop and think about how this could affect your own life. Because in my opinion, I think that giving your 100% is way better than finding the easy way out of anything. So now we've have established that AI is not the best thing to use in middle schools for help. But then again, it's not also a bad thing. It's very helpful. AI is pretty much everywhere in our lives now, even if we don't always notice it. From the second we wake up, it's there to help us. Like when you wake up, you've got Alexa, Siri, or Google ready to tell you about the weather, help you with your questions, or even tell you about the cool deals on Amazon. It's kind of wild how much AI does for us without even thinking about it. AI can do AI can do a bunch of stuff that makes our lives way easier. I mean, ever seen those robot vacuums? You just press a button and it cleans the floor for you. That's AI working right there. But it's not just about doing chores. AI is even writing news articles now. Did you know that? Whether the news is real or not, AI can write it so well that you think a real person wrote it. I think that's a bit too far. I mean, the news is supposed to tell you the truth. If you don't know the truth anymore, I think that's crazy. Now we've got done with our morning routine. Now we're heading to work or school. AI is there too, especially with cars. I mean, have you heard about self driving cars? They're supposed to make driving so much safer. This means that in the near future, you could even take a nap while you're driving your car. It could take you wherever you need to go. I think that's amazing. If this technology gets any more, better, it could help so much. Driver license, they wouldn't be a thing. Just understand what all the buttons do, and you're good. You could even send your 5-year-old in a car, and they would be perfectly fine. And for a middle schooler, you just have that feeling you have to finish something, but you don't want to do it, and you're like, I can finish tomorrow, I'll have time before going to school. Well, guess what? You're not. But with a self-driving car, you could be doing your homework or your work while it's just driving you to school. That gives you 10 or 15 extra minutes to do stuff. And now, at least when I get back home, I just want to chill and watch TV. AI helps me there too. I mean, ever notice how Netflix just suggests shows or movies that you might like? That's AI checking out what you've watched before and guessing what you might like next. I love that. I've watched so many movies and figured out what to watch next just because of AI. And I think it's like having a friend who knows your taste in movies better than you do. So I've asked all my friends the same question. How or where do you use AI in your life? And everyone had different answers. One said she uses it to make some really cool art pieces, and believe me, they're really amazing. One said that she uses it to make some really cool, uses a robot to do half her chores. But there's so many more ways to use AI. So, yeah, AI is a big part of our lives, making things easier and more fun in so many ways. But there's also the other side to think about. With AI getting smarter and doing more stuff, it's important to think about what it means for people's jobs. Like, what happens when AI can do most things better than humans? Like, I heard that people are trying to get AI to make it so advanced that it could have people acting in movies without them even being there. I mean, that could mean that they wouldn't be getting paid anymore. Crazy, right? And also, AI can make songs now. There's this website called Suno, and if you just tell it what to do, like say, I want a pop song about a lion flying in the sky. It will literally make you a song about a lion in the sky with an amazing beat. And I mean, I think it's pretty crazy. Yeah, like, how is everything going to be in the future when AI is going to be so much more advanced? I think it's going to be a bunch of robots getting an army of their own kind ready to take over the world. I sure hope that's not how it all ends. Or it could be like Wall-E, when the robots do everything for the people. That would be really terrible. So now we have established that there are so many possible futures for AI. Anything could happen. I mean, in the near future, AI could take care of the elderly. I mean, how amazing would that be for your grandparents, guys? It could remind them when to take their pills, and that would be so amazing. It could create movies, assist in teaching, and boost the economy and help solve the energy crisis. I mean, you name it, AI can do so many different things already, some even better than humans. This makes me think that if AI is almost a normal thing in this world, what's going to be the next big thing? I could never imagine. So, I thought it would be I think that AI would be a very good thing because AI could be so developed that it would play a crucial role in education. It could help kids be geniuses. It would be super cool if AI just knew what was wrong about how you were learning. Like everyone has their way of learning. Teachers don't always get that and they just start teaching you stuff, but you don't always understand. But AI can do so much better. After talking about AI and its future and how we can use it, I thought it would be fun to ask AI, ChatGPT, what it thinks life is going to look like with it 20 years from now. And this is what ChatGPT had to say. In 20 years, the streets will buzz with humanoid robots, indistinguishable from humans, serving as companions, guides, and helpers, engaging in conversations and tasks with a level of empathy and intelligence that blurs the line between man and machine. Skies will be adorned with self-flying planes, where the passengers just lean back in comfort as AI pilots navigate the clouds, making air travel safer and faster, more efficient than ever before. Homes will be alive with AI, where walls adapt to display immersive art or vistas of distant worlds, and furniture reconfigures itself to your mood and your needs, all at the command of your voice. The world will be a tapestry of human ingenuity and AI harmony, where technology not only connects us to each other, but enhances our understanding of what it means to be truly alive. I think that's crazy. I mean, your furniture could move just by telling it to. I mean, how amazing would that be? You're about to fall over, couch right behind me. Amazing. So now, what I'd like to say to the audience is that AI is about AI is going to be everywhere in our future, not just in parts of it, but everywhere as it grows. So AI is sure about what the future is going to look like. But the real question is, are you ready for what the future holds? Thank you.
That was
Great.
amazing. It gave
Great
me so much to
question,
think about.
Anvitha. Are we ready? Are we ready? That's a great question.
I don't know. When you read the description of what ChatGPT says, predictive for the future, I mean, I was just my mouth was dropping, oh my gosh, I
I
didn't even
know, right?
remember asking ChatGPT that.
Yeah. Well, you did a really good job illustrating some of the really fun and helpful parts of AI,
Uh-huh.
but also a little bit of reality when it comes to what is possible with it, both good and bad, right? So I appreciate that it wasn't all doomsday, but you really gave a realistic view of what we can expect. So thank you, Anvitha. It was pretty
Thank you.
educational. Yeah. You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much for this opportunity. It was amazing speaking here. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank,
much.
well, thank you. And
You're welcome.
I hope you have a wonderful night. And thank you. We have one more speaker tonight.
Yay.
Just one more. I wonder who that one is.
I wonder, who could that be?
We're finally bringing him up to the stage today. And so I'm going to move his. I guess I probably don't really need this to read his bio, but I'm going to read his official bio right now. Liam DeKaiser is a seventh grader who is a best-selling author of the Parenting Owner's Manual. He has spoken on Voices of Hope and Family Matters Summit. He also loves cooking, gardening, performing on stage, and teaching other kids about healthy eating. He has a black belt in Taekwondo with me and enjoys the outdoors with his family and scouting. And I would say he also last night, I think with some of Jackie's other students, he also applied for his TEDx talk too. So
Yay!
we are
Yes.
getting his email account onto my phone, so when we're traveling, that we have that handy.
Nice. Yes, congratulations, Liam. Pretty exciting.
I know. And you said like had to be due so soon. I was like, can we get this done? And Jackie and Liam pulled it off. So I'm very proud of both of them.
Yep.
So tonight, Liam, though, is going to talk to us about the 3 paths to healthier family habits. He will share how he and his sisters engage with their family garden and participate in meal planning, discovering fun ways to engage your kids and family in the kitchen and garden, turning meal preparation and gardening into enjoyable family activities. Sometimes. I'm kidding. These collaborative experiences not only teach valuable life skills, but also cultivate healthy habits that can benefit the whole family for years to come. Are you ready, buddy, to give us our healthy habits?
Yes.
He's
Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity to speak on my mom's festival.
But you know, what's funny is we got to thank Liam because in the midst of planning all this, it didn't even necessarily, when he said, can I speak on it? He asked. And I was just like, of course. Like, it just like, but it came like directly from him, like, can I speak on this? And I'm like, of course. Let me talk to Jackie. Let me get more on. But like,
Yeah, that's
just in the process of planning, it just, the thought hadn't occurred to me yet till he asked. And as soon as he asked, like the floodgates just opened, and I was like, yes, thank you for the suggestion. I needed that.
Yes, thank you, Liam.
And so here we are. We're going to give you the full stage.
Thank you for having me on here tonight. And I'm going to talk about healthier family habits. And we all know that some families don't eat the healthiest, and it's nearly impossible to eat the healthiest because there's always one thing you can do better to improve your health. But it's all those little baby steps adding up that will equal an overall healthy diet. So you might be saying, I don't know how to eat healthy. Here's your solution. Have a family meeting. A family meeting is where you plan all the meals you're having for the week, and you also shower each other with gratitude. So first, you will start out your family meeting by showering each other with gratitude. So it will just be 1 minute for each person, and everyone will say what they're grateful for them doing in that week, in that 1 minute. And then you'll move on to the more serious part of the meeting, planning your meals. We all act like it's a chore, and it, and like we don't want to be there, because I know sometimes my sisters don't always want to be there. Sometimes family meetings end with a fight. That's life. You're a family. You're going to fight sometimes. There's no such thing as a perfect family that never fought. So it's okay to have the arguments, but make sure everyone's idea is included, because when you're planning the meals, let's say someone wants chicken Alfredo and the other one wants broccoli beef. You don't have to argue over who's getting it, because you have to eat more than one meal in a week. And take everyone's ideas. So if you get 30 suggestions for meals, take those meal suggestions into the next few weeks. And then you will have, and then you can, and then you'll have your meals planned. Because you don't have to eat every single meal that everyone wants every week. And let's say if you had chicken Alfredo for the past 4 weeks, it's okay to say no and not have it again, even if someone really wants it. The rest of the family can say we've been having that way too much, and not have a different meal than chicken Alfredo. And then in a couple weeks, you can have that meal again. It's a balance. You want to avoid fast food restaurants because fast food restaurants have so much fat, oil, and sodium in them, which, if you saw the nutrition label on them, you'd be shocked. Most fast food restaurants just give calories. You don't have a nutrition label for it. So you don't know what's in your food. So that's why you should avoid eating at a fast food restaurant because you had no idea what's in it. For all you know, there could be all these different chemicals in to make it taste good and last longer. That isn't good for your body. But when you make meals that you cook at home, it is amazing how much different your health can be because you get meals that you can prepare as a family. Because I know our family, we take turns preparing meals at the during the evening because we have a pretty open schedule and one of us wouldn't make dinner or we'd help with parts of dinner. So for families, start with a family meeting. But you know what's better than getting your food from a local farm or a farmer's market? It is growing it yourself. Growing your food yourself is a very good option because you know exactly what's in your food and exactly what you're putting on it. If you go to the store and buy a bottle of pesticide to spray on your food, it's not going to be organic. Go to the store. You're not really eating healthier. But there's some organic pesticides that you can make online that you can find online to make yourself that like some of them consist of like chili pepper, no cayenne pepper, garlic that you put on to your plant and that will help keep pests off, which that's made is made with whole natural ingredients. So when you're growing food yourself, you want to incorporate the whole family. So you can have one person pick weeds. Like you have 5 people in your family. You can just Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, one person can just go out in the garden and pick some weeds, and then on the weekend you can go out as a family and pick weeds together because there's going to be some weeds that people won't be able to get, and weeds grow back pretty quickly. So it will take so you should weed your garden often, but make sure to check for poisonous plants like poison ivy. You don't want to be getting a rash all over yourself because I don't think you want to be very itchy and have the toxins from a poisonous plant on you. The it's really just the plant's way of protecting itself. So you need to be like the plant. Protect yourself by putting gloves and having long sleeves on when you're picking those plants. Make sure your wrists are completely covered and you're covered. So when you're picking the weed, it won't accidentally touch your skin and you'll get a rash that will be very painful and itchy and you won't enjoy it. It's a lot like getting a bunch of mosquito bites all over you, which is not the best. But there's worse things that can happen to you. So, you really should start with a family meeting, because I know our family meetings happen every Sunday after breakfast. So we are all at the kitchen table and we are all able to talk about our schedule. We plan meals based off of our schedules. If we have a very busy night and we don't have time to prepare a meal, we will make sure we have food in the refrigerator and eat leftovers. Throwing your leftover food away after a meal, it's not a good idea because you're wasting a bunch of food that you can turn into different meals, and you can pack them up in the car and not have to eat at a fast food restaurant, because you'll be doing wonders for your health by saving your food and the environment by not having producing so much food waste. So we ha- family meals are what we want. Family meals are very helpful for us. When I was researching for my TEDx talk, there was this statistic that 91% of families in 2021 were significantly less stressed when they were having family meals with each other, which shows the power of being with your family and having a meal with them, sharing that time, because we all have to eat. Sure, you can play a game, but sitting in silence, it's having that conversation. It's getting that connection. And at dinner, we like to share about our day. And we use this format to start it. So you do one success, one struggle, one funny moment, and one thing you're grateful for. And people can add on to their day, because you shouldn't be cutting people off when they're talking about their day. It's having that family connection and being willing to share about your day and what happened in it, and trusting the people who will always be there for you. You will have many friends, and if if you miss your friend's sleepover, it's not going to be the end of the world. But you really shouldn't be missing family meals, because friends will come and go. You were given one family, and you won't get multiple families, because your family is going to be what's going to be there for the rest of your life. That's why we need to make this connection at the dinner table now. Would you like to be looking back in um in the in in like 20 years from now? Would you like to be looking back on your childhood and saying, I never spent any time with my family. I was always at my friend's house eating dinner with them, and I felt like I was their family, and I really don't know what um what my family does at dinner, and I don't and I wish I knew them better. Or would you like this? I I I love the time I spent with my family, and the by having the family meals with them, we will have we had more connection, and we had less contention, and being our family, we were able to support each other, be kind to each other, and be there for each other, because families should be there when someone's struggling. Your family should be there to help you with it, because we only have one family and friends come and go. So make the most of your family time, because Before you know it, your childhood will be over. You'll be off in college, and you could be halfway across the country, or in in a different state, or a different country. You can be far away from your family and only visit them every once in a while. The time you have with your family, make the most of it, because when you spend time with your family, you will be less stressed, and having family meals with each other gives you a place to to tell everyone about you, and your family is the people who care about you the most, or at least should be, because I know my family, we love having family meals, and we treat our home cooked meals as a celebration. You can be celebrating your meals every day. You can be like the Mad Hatter and the March Hare, celebrating your unbirthdays every day, but instead you're celebrating your family time every day by having your home cooked meals. By making these home cooked meals, you'll be with your family and be able to be with them. And your family will be there to support you when you need them. And when you have a good connection with your family, when you're older, you will still want that family connection and come together with your family and love them. Because I know we get together with my grandma and my aunts, uncles, and cousins for Christmas every year. And we also have a big family reunion in June. It's just because we all come together and we love spending time with each other. It's spending that time with your family as a child that will make you want to see them in the future. You could have a very bad relationship with your family and never want to see them again. But that's sad. So, if you have a good relationship with your family now, you will most likely have a good relationship with your family later. And your parents will be able to have grandchildren if you have children. And moms, the benefit for not killing your children is you'll get grandchildren someday. So if you've ever felt like that, moms, know your children love you, and that you need to love your children. And it's that connection that will bring you together in the future. Because I know my grandma says being a grandparent was the best thing that ever happened to her. And she loves being a grandparent. So now I'm going to pass it back to my mom and Jackie.
Yay, Liam. So many great ideas. So awesome. Thank you so much. Michelle, you
I
must
just
be proud.
I put him make him be close, right? He likes all the family meals together, right?
That's right.
I'll,
Closeness
I'll
comes
give
with
you
it.
some space. I'm making claustrophobic over here.
No, it's just so weird trying to be leaning over like that.
I like to switch it up a little bit. Come on now, we gotta have a little fun here, right? Well, thank you for sharing us about what we do in our family, about family meals, and again, it's just about bringing more connection and making the best of the time that we do have together, and really coming to the table as often as we can. And again, I love how we can do it for breakfast. We don't have to, do it when it works for you. It doesn't have to be dinner. It's just figuring out how it works. And I don't know if any one of the things we figured out was we tried in the beginning, we tried to do dinner after kids' activities, and we realized the kids were hungry and just wasn't quite working. And so we switched it to like first thing after the school bus, we have dinner, and then they might have a snack afterwards. We reversed it. and all of a sudden, like, we're able to eat together more often, and even if it's just a quick 20 minutes, we're still at the table eating together before we go off to different activities. So it's just another idea of how to rearrange it a little bit, and now they're not so hangry at me and screaming when they get their food right away.
If you want a full tutorial on family meetings, go to the live that I made with my mom on Sunday of the Sunday, which was a few days ago, and watch it and bring family meetings, family meals, just family time in general into your life, and make sure, parents, be nice to your kids. You'll be rewarded by grandchildren. And 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 I and the benefit for not killing your children is you'll get grandchildren.
I'll just hug you instead. How's that?
Right.
I was just joking. I'm proud of you, bud.
That's great.
Well, thank
Yes,
you,
thank
Jackie, for
you.
bringing on all these youth speakers. I couldn't have done it without you. And I think this has gone really well, seeing all of them share their messages. And really, I hope moms out there watching it's inspiring you to do things, but also inspiring maybe you bring some of these to your kids to watch, to inspire them to figure out what they want to do, or different ways of their messaging, or whatever, just inspiring the things that they want to do. And again, it comes down to just really paying attention to what each of us individuals feel called to do in terms of even just hobbies or things we enjoy doing. It's not, and exploring those and going, yeah, I do like doing that, or no, that's not my thing. We tried soccer. Soccer never worked in my house, but that's what it is. It's trying those, getting those opportunities, and then figuring out things. We got swimmers right now, and now we got gardener on our hands too. Thanks, gardening grandma.
Yeah, it's great. I think that parent or mom specifically is your audience today. I hope you feel good about what these young people have said, knowing that it's because you are having a positive influence on your kids. These may not have been your kids, but what you're doing to empower your kids is the right thing. So I hope you feel good about what you've heard today.
I have to totally agree. It really is when we're being that role model for them and inspiring them. And we don't always necessarily see it, but just listen to these kids today and show that your kids are, a lot of that, it's impacting them as well. And they just might not necessarily say it, but it's there. And that's what this is all about, just spreading all of that and everything. So thank you so much, Jackie, for joining me tonight. Thank you, Liam, for emceeing the first half with Jackie as well. And thank you for speaking. And I am just so grateful to be able to run this festival and have wonderful speakers like you joining me in this process. So I'm just so grateful. Anything you want to end with, Liam?
That we'll be back. That we'll have more speakers tomorrow. So stay tuned for some amazing adult speakers.
Yay. All right.
Bye
Thanks,
for
you two.
now.